How you doing, guys? I feel I can speak about this now. I'll just get my coffee. I feel like I can speak about this now because something that's really got in the way of my life over the last 3 years, and another reason why I became a recluse and a loner. See, I find it very hard. People always say to me, well, why don't you get a woman, Decca? Why don't you find somebody? But when you've been called the names that I have and targeted the way I have, nobody really wants to touch you with a barge pole. I don't know, it sounds quite sad, but when you were an innocent man and you called all those horrible names, people question it. And that's the problem I've had, and I've found it hard to trust anyone, and it's not easy to find a woman. And I'm not saying that I need a woman in my life. What I'm saying is it's not been easy getting one. Not that I've looked for it, but I think a lot of people believe the lies about me. And it's made it kind of impossible to meet someone nice because I don't want to say the words because it's vile. But when you were called the names that I was called, and you don't know me as a person, you're going to believe it, aren't you? Or you're going to question it. But when you know me personally and you know the person that I am, you know how soft and gentle I am and around people and kids and women and old people. I'd help anybody. Like I'm very kind. You know, if I've got money, I'll help people out. If I've got, I'll help people. This is something I wanted to get off my chest for a while because it's been really hard finding somebody in my life probably because they believe it. Like people go on about being like with your looks and having a great physique, and that doesn't mean nothing. Like being in shape and means nothing. Looks for me, beauty comes from the heart and it reflects in the face. And obviously my beauty in my heart was ripped apart, and it made me really ill for a long time. And I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm only speaking about this now because I can't trust anybody. What I was put through was mental torture to the extent of wanting to take my own life, and now it's like if a woman did come into my life, I question it. Like, what's the agenda? Is someone putting them up to this? Is this a setup? It makes it quite difficult. Of course, I'd love to settle down in the future. I mean, who wouldn't? But it's something I've never looked for because I've painted a picture in my head that people are judging me. So like, I barely approach. Like, I won't go up to a woman and ask. Like, I won't go up to her in the street and ask her out or anything like that. I've probably got more balls doing it over in a message, because then it's like, it's not as embarrassing being knocked back. But I've always had a fear of being rejected, because it knocks my confidence. Where now my confidence is sky high. I'm not really that bothered about that because I love who I am, and I'm proud of what I've achieved and the journey that I've been on. But still, mud sticks, and unfortunately people probably still believe the lies about me, which is not nice, because when I finally do, whenever I get to settle down, I'm not going to be able to, because one, the person will probably be targeted. Two, I'll never be able to go public with them because I'll just get harassed. And three, it'll always be in the back of my mind, does this person believe this? Do you know what I mean? See, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Them people destroyed my life. They destroyed my mind. They destroyed my trust. They took away my dignity and everything. Um, and it still goes on today. Do you know what I mean? I just don't pay any attention to it because I'm happy. And you know what? For to get through what I have got through and come out in the shape that I'm in now and carry on positivity, that takes a lot of mental strength. And I've done it. And like I say, being sectioned was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because speaking to the psychology team opened my eyes to it a little bit, because even they say, you know, lies spread faster than truth, and that's a fact. Lies do spread faster than truth. And when you get a serious lie that spread, that I had, which travelled the whole country, there was times where I was ashamed. I was ashamed to come out of the house. I was embarrassed. You know, it was totally destroyed me. I put on a brave face. You know, but one thing I never did, I never left YouTube. I didn't leave because I knew I was innocent, and that's why I never ever left, because I stayed around and I fought my corner. But when I fought my corner, it was that mentally tiring that it dragged me that down that much that I ended up in hospital. It brought back triggers from when I was younger. It was just the most horrible experience. I would never ever wish it up anyone, and that's why I don't believe that you should call people the N-word just off for no reason, because it can ruin people's lives. And I'm a prime example. That is why I don't hang about with anybody. I don't trust anybody. And the thing is, it's made me that paranoid that it's like if someone comes into my life, like a stranger, straight away in my head I'm questioning it. Like, what's the agenda? Why do they want to be my friend? They might just be being real. Like, they could just be like being genuine. But my mind's pushing people away. Pushes women away. Because I'm paranoid about it. And it's because of what I've been put through. And I'm making this video because I want people to know that social media bullying and trolling and things that were said about me can stick with you for the rest of your life, and I'm probably going to have to live with that. I'm going to have to live with that certain people will still believe it. Do you know what I mean? I feel a lot of women were intimidated, and probably still are intimidated by me, because they believe the lies. You know, trolls would target women. They would message women and tell them all these things about me, and then I would have to explain myself, and it got quite tiring. And in the end, I'm like, I'm not explaining myself to anybody. And because I wasn't explaining myself to people, then people believed it, because I just got fed up of explaining myself. But anybody that knows me personally knows how good I am with my nieces and nephews, and how much I love my family and my nana, and how soft and gentle I am as a person. But it has, my experience of the online abuse has changed my life forever. But the positive side of it is I've came out on top in the fact that I've got myself in the best shape of my life. I'm fit, I'm content, I'm actually content, and I'm happy in my own body. When I never used to be. I used to hate myself. I used to always think I was fat and ugly, and I used to always call myself names. And then, you know, it's quite a deep conversation, this, but I just want to get it off my chest, because I want people to know that you don't need to be intimidated by me. I want people to know that I am a nice person. I'm not perfect by far, like, at all, but the online abuse has damaged me. It's made me edgy, it's made me paranoid, it's made me not trust people, and that's probably why. If you ever say to me what you're paranoid for, well, that's the reason. You know, people will question me, or why you doubt me for that reason, and it's not your fault. It's what's happened to me, which is probably going to stick with me for the rest of my life. But I'm getting the right help. I'm getting psychological help, which for me, I hope it takes me to a place where I can actually live my life normally, and then meet someone in the future and live a peaceful life. But it's really hard to meet someone, because you know what it's like, you know, when you meet someone online and they want to go in a relationship on Facebook. I couldn't do that, because straight away that person would be targeted, and I wouldn't want that on my conscience, them being harassed and bullied and their mental health being played with. That is why I choose to be on my own, because I don't want other people targeted. So that's I just wanted to have this conversation. I just wanted to get this off my chest today, because I felt it was important, because I know there's a lot of women out there still intimidated by me, thinking that I'm this monster. I see it online all the time, man. I see, like, a lot of women probably believe it, but it's not true. It's bull, it's lies, man. It's common sense, isn't it? I've never hid away, I've always been here, I've always fought my corner, but it just makes it impossible for me to have a relationship, especially in the public domain, because sometimes you'll get women, and I don't blame them. Or why won't you go in a relationship on Facebook with me? Are you ashamed of me? It's not that I'm ashamed of you. I don't want you to be targeted by trolls. I don't want you to be harassed. Because that's what happens. And sometimes I do believe relationships should be private and away from social media, where a lot of people like to claim you and put it in the public domain out of insecurity. And I've noticed that normally if a person asks you, can we go in a relationship on Facebook, that's because they're insecure, because they want everyone to know that they're with you. But in my case, I can't do that, because they'll be targeted. So I just thought I wanted to say that today. I wanted to get that off my chest. I think it feels very important. That's why I've not met anybody. That's why I've been single for a long time, and I find it hard to meet anybody. Not that I don't want to meet anybody, it's just people probably are intimidated by me and probably believe the lies about me. But no one ever comes and says anything to my face. Do you know what I mean? I've never hit a woman in my life, and I never would. See, one thing I do hate is men. I hate men. I've got a hatred for men, and there's reasons for that. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest today, guys. I feel like that's something important, and that's another weight off my shoulder that I wanted to speak about, because I know there's a lot of girls and women out there that are intimidated by me through this online bullying campaign that I got put through. But I just want them all to know, and I want everyone to know, that it isn't true. If you stop and speak to me in the street and give us your 5 minutes of your time, you'll know that I'm a decent person. So yeah, but guys, thanks for listening to me, and I just want to say thank you for all the support, because there has actually been a lot of people that have stood by me through it, and I respect you, and thank you. God bless.